James Jackson is a defense journalist and also political analyst. He is now joining us live from Berlin. Mr. Jackson, welcome to the program. Is the voter turnout as predicted that it could be high? And as you answer that, what are your predictions?
Yes, especially in eastern Germany, but also in states like Lower Saxony, turnout is very high. And I think this could mean increased vote for the AfD, the Alternative for Germany, possibly even outperforming the final polls. We'll have to wait and see there, obviously. Anything can happen in this election, but I think the results are somewhat clear that the CDU are going to be significantly in the lead, especially ahead of their main real rival for the chancellery, which would be Olaf Scholz, Social Democrats. You can see him voting there on stage. I mean, Scholz has been very unpopular and has really lacked leadership, many Germans feel, while his three-party coalition was not particularly stable. Obviously, we are having a winter election here because it blew up, so they had to call new elections or snap election. So the problem is, I think Friedrich Merz, who you see there, has had a very aggressive tone against the left, the centre-left, but he probably needs them to govern because you can't. He said he's not going to govern with the AfD, even though they might have. Actually, I think they're very likely to have a majority between them. But German political, it's a taboo, and many of his voters may feel, if he goes into coalition with the AfD, completely betrayed. Expect to see huge protests. But if his other option is going in with their SPD, that's right back to where we started under Merkel. So that would, I think, be the fourth grand, we call it a grand coalition here, when you have the top two parties, the CDU and the SPD, who are centre-left and centre-right. When they go into government together, you know, it's quite hard to get things done, but it is relatively stable. But it's not really the vote for change that many people want from this election. And what they do want, it seems to be a change to the right, meaning less migration, thanks in part to a number of really horrific terrorist attacks and attacks by some cases mentally ill asylum seekers, as well as others. So,
Mr. Jackson, let's now talk about the right, because in the past weeks there has been a rise in support for the right, despite some Germans voicing their displeasure against the AfD party by protesting. But what will happen if that support translates into the ballots and Germans decide to favour the AfD?
Well, I think they're not likely to come first. If they came first today, that would be a real shock. It looks like they're favouring the centre-right CDU, although on a lot of issues, it has to be said, the CDU and AfD are not that far apart at the moment, particularly on migration, economics. They seem to have some of the same solutions. I think the main difference is on European security, with the AfD being closer to Russia and the CDU definitely being a pro-Western party.
All right, Mr. Jackson, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for your insights. Good to see you.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.